Well, I'm a big supporter of peaceful protests, and I think actually many of the protesters, especially those with passion about the environment, have a really strong case to be arguing for faster environmental measures from world leaders. But I do worry that within that throng of peaceful protesters that will be making their way to the southwest, there will be a very, very small minority of thugs and vandals intent on causing trouble, disrupting those peaceful protests and really causing problems. Now, that's what really worries me. If Plymouth has to be a site for these protest locations, and I'm still not really convinced that's the right answer, then it needs to be in a location that is safe, not only for local residents, but for the police and the protesters themselves. Being corralled onto Plymouth Hoe with few exits in and out of there, surrounded by some of our city's most important tourist destinations, I just think is the wrong location. And that's why I want the police to think again about this. They're used to policing Central Park. It's a much bigger location, and because it's right next to Plymouth Argyle, where we frequently have a heavy police presence, especially when we enjoy derby games against Exeter City, we are able to accommodate that. I want protests to be loud, I want it to be clear, and I want world leaders to go faster on the action against the climate emergency. I just want it to be safe. I'm not convinced Plymouth Hoe would be.
And you questioned in your first answer whether there was a need for this at all. I mean, what would your solution be otherwise? People will want to protest.
I make a really big difference between those people that want to legitimately have their voices heard and a tiny minority of people who will travel into the southwest with the deliberate intention of causing trouble. Now, I don't want to see that anywhere. The location of the G7 is in a location which is very, very difficult for people to get to anyway, doesn't really have enough capacity for all the delegates, let alone everyone else that wants to go along and see the G7. So we do need to see a proper plan. And the best thing the police can do is listen to the communities. They police by consent, and they need to identify locations with communities. And I think moving in Truro is the right decision. Moving the location in Plymouth is also the right decision.